Hello, everyone. Another wonderful week of football. I remain your loyal Arsenal fan and the greatest soccer analyst Obina.
You don't have your last name?
I don't disclose that, man. Especially in this climate, I don't disclose that too.
If they want to find you, they will find you.
That's
Hello,
fine, but I will
everyone.
make it easy for them.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Oluwaseun. I almost did not want to come and do this podcast.
I
In fact, I
know.
almost gave up on football.
I know.
But
Good.
yesterday, let me just say the truth. Yesterday, I won't say I had a bad time, but I knew it was coming. But it came. And you know that meme of Pablo Escobar, the show where the guy went to a playing ground and the guy was just
Just
looking
sat
into
down.
the abyss.
Thinking
That was
about
me.
life.
Yes, I took a walk to the park yesterday. I was just thinking, what is this life? What is this life of football that I over myself? You know, when you start blaming yourself, that why did I fall in love with football? It happened to me yesterday. But
Why? No, could you get to explain why? What happened?
Arsenal qualified for semi-finals of Champions League the third time in their history, and I'm like, well,
You sound hurt.
we shall see.
You sound hurt.
You know, I was not. I was. I still am, but it was inevitable. But
What do you mean?
it's gonna be a great show. It's gonna be a great show. We have so today. I want to be a guest. I want to leave it for you people. Have it. It's your time. Have it. So we have Olufemi all the way from Emirates Stadium. He went to go and watch the game live. He was supposed to come on the show last week, but he left us alone. He went to go and watch the game live. And I guess they gave him a birthday gift because it was a birthday now. The day before.
Yeah. You know, and fun fact, I've never watched Arsenal lose a game. You know, so.
Oh, how many games have you seen?
I think this is my fourth game. Not in the Emirates, so not in the Emirates. I've gone for like preseason games and all that stuff, but yeah, in general, this is my fourth.
Not the Kampe season. Anyway, he went to watch the game live, and as a gift, Rice did what he has never done before in his life: score 2 amazing free kicks. So, but we thank God for life. We thank God for life that he came back safely after we've hearing stories of plane coming down, unexpectedly. We thank God that he went and he came back safely. They gave him birthday gifts.
Amen.
And they put icing on the cake for him by qualifying in a very I don't want to use flowery words. They qualified. That's what I can say. I don't use flowery words. I'm a man of many letters, but today I just want to be.
Give us our flowers now. Why are you so hurt?
Just give one.
But Obina, didn't I do that last week? I did last week now.
All you did was say congratulations.
I did. No. Obina, this is my problem with you. You lie a lot. I gave you guys flowers last week. I said you guys. I mean, I won't repeat what I said, but
no, say it now. Say it. Remind me because I don't remember.
I can't repeat it myself. No,
I don't remember.
I can't repeat it myself. Well, it's gonna be a great show. I'm gonna leave it for Arsenal fans. But before I take a step back, so you can talk whatever you want to talk about your club. My song of the week, it's an Asian song that Burna Boy went to go and pitch on, as it does usually. I was telling one of my friends that Burna Boy is the Drake of Afrobeat, culture vulture. Any song that he feels that is gonna blow, he will jump on the song.
Wait, so which song is your favorite song? For Kampe?
Yes, is it for Kampe? Let me see. I'm trying to. Yeah, Kampe for Kampe too.
Yeah, but you know
Dwèt.
The guy asked him to jump on his song now. The artist, the Haitian artist.
The guy, the artist, the Asian artist. Same no now. It's the same thing. Do you think Drake forces himself on all the songs every time? They will ask him to now. They say they look around and say in all of you 54 countries in Africa.
Who's gonna boost their
no.
this thing?
No. Who is the culture vulture that we can use for this track? Burna Boy. Okay, let's use it. But jokes apart, I love that song because it's the essence of Asian music. They did not lose. Based on that, how they mixed and produced and the lyrics and everything, the beats, the sound, they stuck to their essence. My best part of the song is the ending, the ending part where they drop the beats. That was like makes you feel the Asian culture, makes you feel the Asian music. But it's a good song. I like it. So that's my song of the week. Obina,
Yeah.
how do you feel? Where do you want to start from?
Where do I want to start from? I'll start from the fact that I going into the first leg, it's Real Madrid. They were coming to the Emirates. By the way, I was looking forward to this game, and if you remember, I had said that I would rather face Madrid than
Yeah, I think we
Atletico.
all said that.
Obina did not say
Oh,
that.
What are you
Obina
talking
was
about?
saying. Obina said he preferred Atletico Madrid to Madrid, but
What?
Olu said he prefers Madrid over Atletico Madrid.
No way. No, 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 no. Sure, I think you're mistaken. It cannot be me. It cannot
Okay.
be me. It cannot be me because, oh my God, America shooting at Florida State. Um, so going into the game, I mean, of course you have to be cautious of Madrid and their Fab Four,
Which of the
but
games?
the first leg,
Okay.
the first leg. I mean, we had recorded. No, I know we recorded last week, right?
Yeah.
We, but Rice, got all the plaudits. But one fantastic person there was Merino, Timber. Actually, the entire team played well,
yeah.
except Martin Odegaard.
I,
And then we went to play Brentford this weekend. We should have won. Saka should have
yeah.
scored at the end, but we did not. And that's fine. And then you saw the mental games that Madrid and their fans and the media from Spain tried to play, talking of the remontada and how they are focused. If Bellingham breathes, they say, Jude Bellingham took a deep breath. That means he's focused on the game. Jude Bellingham looked at the glass. He was trying to reflect, see his reflection, and that means he's an inkling into what is going in his head. He's reflecting on his past, and so he's going to deal with that. I'm like, brother, calm down.
No. So that whole thing is an embarrassment. See, I respect Madrid a lot, and I wouldn't be harder on them because they've what's the word now? They've had the even about on history, we can give them the yardstick that okay, say they've put themselves in this position where they deserve, not deserve, but they
They've
don't, we
earned.
cannot.
They've earned.
What's it?
They've earned it.
You see, they've
Yeah, they've
earned the
earned
They've
this.
earned an
Yes,
off season,
yes, that's the
like
word.
even like 2 off seasons,
Yeah,
to be honest.
No, I don't know whether
yes.
it's, that they've earned an offseason, but they've earned the respect and the expectation that no loss is insurmountable. Like they cannot come back from any loss.
No. If I no, let's forget about the loss, right? I'm talking about like in general of people should not. I mean, I personally would not say, "Oh, Madrid were bad." Even if by their standards they were bad, even if they
They
were
were not
bad.
bad. That's how they played. They were just outplayed. Please get it
No.
right.
Wait. Now, wait.
Okay.
I'm saying by that standard. I'm not saying in general, like by that standard, by what we know them for, right?
What do we
People
know
will
them
say,
for?
"Oh, Madrid were trash," but let's just put that aside. They've earned this. Knowing that fact, the way they went about that second leg, the build up to the second leg is just embarrassing. Like it's for you to do that, like
They're
deep down,
rascals. Yeah.
that they knew that it's beyond them. They were just like trying to like play to the gallery that let's just put they're using their 12th man into the game because those 11 guys on the pitch, apart from Vinicius, all of them were trash. Were trash by their
I think
standard. On a normal day,
even including Vinicius, like to be honest.
So
Oh, go ahead.
yeah. So the reason I'm excluding Vinicius is I've seen players hide in big games. I've seen players not, take allow the occasion get to them. Vinicius is not that kind of player, so he still played this game because if you notice, by first half, he didn't. I'm talking about second leg, not first leg. First half, it wasn't of second leg. It wasn't all that, but second half, he kind of came and said, "Okay, let me see what I can do." Even though it wasn't enough, even though he was still blocked, he wasn't 100% what we expect him to do, but he still showed himself. Whatever opinion you have of him of the game, let's just put that aside. But in all, yeah, Obina, just you buttress your facts. That if my club did that, I'll be ashamed because I know deep down that they know that it's beyond there. Because how do you come back from 3-0 down against a team that has not conceded more than 2 goals since 2013? 2023?
Yeah, since Brentford
Right?
December
3-0.
2020.
And knowing that your team, they are not as good as they are creating a lot of chances, but they're not as good as taking those chances as they were 2 seasons ago. So yeah, embarrassment. We're closing the dome, talking about remontada. You guys are doing too much. I like Real Madrid, but I was embarrassed on their behalf. But continue, Obina.
So, they did all these games. Every single player, tomorrow we will be there. We will show them this is Madrid. Right. So, and Arsenal players are calm. Teta gives a great press conference where he talks of how, this is a great opportunity for us to do something special. Very calm and composed press conference. And then we get into the game. Obvious. So my first one thing I'll say is this: it's clear that um, games involving Madrid, especially at the Bernabeu, big games, require referees that can control the game and not be influenced by the crowd. Because yesterday it could have started off really badly. Um, the Merino, there were some really dubious calls early on. There was a corner kick that Vinicius got that was clearly not a corner kick. And we're like, okay, that's fine. And then there were some fouls. So after some time, though, the referee, in fairness to him, did a good job in allowing certain things. It became a physical game at some point, and he wasn't calling fouls for both teams, which is fair. And then we got the penalty. Honestly, at first I was confused as to what was happening. And then they showed that the foul was on when Merino just danced around Asensio and he had to pull him back. We got the penalty. I was confident that Saka would score. I'm not going to lie, because penalties, since his Euro miss, and then the West Ham, or is it West Ham or Villa? West Ham miss last season. No, 2 seasons ago, excuse me. I was confident he was going to score. And then he missed it pretty badly. I mean, that was a terrible penalty. Since when the Saka started trying to chip penalty, I mean, that's not his MO, but okay. And then there was the situation with Mbappe and Rice. And for the life of me, I could not understand why it took 5 minutes to reach a decision that the entire world could see was not a penalty. There is no universe. There's no universe where you look at that thing twice and conclude that there was a penalty, that it was a penalty. Even initially, but for some reason they decided to take 5 minutes. And in my opinion, I honestly think that I could be wrong, obviously. I'm not claiming to know it all. But I think that the reason it took so long was that they were trying to look for an angle to buttress the penalty decision. So that's one point. Another strange point is, if that was in the Premier League, 100% that penalty would have stood, and that obviously that would have changed the game, because Madrid, the fans would have gotten into it, yada yada yada. But I'm happy that in the end they made the right decision, and they took Declan Rice's yellow. They rescinded the yellow card.
Obina,
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If the reverse was the case, would you have said it's not a penalty?
Yes, I would have.
Okay.
Yes, I would have.
Yeah, I personally didn't think that was a penalty. I think if they had called that, it would have been too soft, because
Bro,
So the reason why I asked that question is because United has considered those penalties a lot of times.
oh my god.
Maguire,
United doesn't even concede penalties like that.
we concede penalties. I'm telling you, we concede penalties. Even the most foolish ones where they kick the ball on somebody's legs, the ball hits Besse's leg and it rolls off his hand and they call penalty. So
So,
I personally think the two penalties they're not penalties.
you don't think
But
that this guy's
hold
one was
on,
a
it's my
penalty?
opinion. Obina is my opinion. It's my opinion. I'm not going to argue with you. You've won the game. I don't know why you are talking about ref decisions where 50-50 decisions went towards Arsenal in that
No.
game a lot of times. But
What?
it's okay. You guys won the game.
What?
Why are you talking about ref decisions?
Show
But
you asked me to give my
that
view.
penalty, that is a penalty. But if it's a 50-50 penalty, if the ref says play on, like I'm okay with it. Remember ref said no penalty. I'm like, okay, that's fine. No penalty. Like, play on. So it's 50-50 in my opinion. It's not like a stone wall penalty. And guess what the excuse was? The excuse was that it was offside.
yeah, I
That was the
think that was
excuse. They now
nonsense.
changed it.
Which is what I'm saying
They now
that
changed
which
it.
is what
They
I'm
now
saying
changed
that it
the
was such
they
a
now
ridiculous decision.
yes now. They now changed it that um the gripping wasn't long enough to impede Mbappe's reaching of the ball. So it's one of those things where just thank God that it went your way. Because on a normal day, it might have been against you. Also, in general, it's football. I don't think it's a new concept where you go to a hostile ground and you get cause your way, right? It happens in Anfield, it used to happen in Old Trafford, even your Emirates, it happens like you have confidence that okay, it's my home ground. So I don't think it's out of place for the crowd to want to influence the refs. It's part of football. That's why we watch football. But just thank God, Obina, that you won the game. Did
What?
you?
I don't understand. But at no
But
point
you know,
were we under any pressure. Why are you saying I should thank God? I don't.
no, I'm just saying, and I'm just saying, I'm not saying like you guys don't win the game by luck. Do you
Okay.
get?
I just wanted to
I'm
make
not
sure.
saying, I'm not saying you guys won the game by luck. I'm just saying like you gotta do Thanksgiving in church. If you pass exam, right, you read well and you went to write the exam, and all the questions that came out was what you studied for, and you wrote the answers correctly. The lecturer, the professor, did not misplace your script, right? He did not. He could read your handwriting, and handwriting was legible. The answers you wrote was what he had in his mind, and he gave you the correct marks, and you came out with 95%. Would you go and thank God in the church that thank God though a course or a subject that is very difficult that people fail, but me I passed it, graciously.
No, but
You can't thank God
we've been
now,
asking
regardless.
no, but we've been asking for Real Madrid for a very long time. If
Uh,
so it's not as if we did not know what we want, who what kind of performance the boys could give. It's not like Arsenal fans have been asking for Real Madrid for it. Say bring Madrid here, they will give us Bayern Munich. That's fine. But mind you, we've played Madrid 4 times.
and you've won. You've lost. You drew
They've only scored
one
once
3 times
in
at least.
4 games,
They've only scored
You've only
once.
scored Vinicius.
and that was a
Yeah,
dash
and
goal.
that was
Vinicius. It's okay.
we just
Yeah.
gave it to them as in. So we respect you. Fine, just take one goal.
And so you tell me that you were not scared when Saliba did that
Why would
nonsense.
I be scared?
When wanted to not make
No, I
Vinicius.
think he
No,
didn't
he
see
didn't
him. He
see him.
didn't
He
see
didn't
him.
see him. He didn't see him. He
He
didn't
didn't
see
see
him.
him.
Really? How
He
would
didn't see
you
him.
see him as a defender?
No, because Sheon, he was squared. He was squared.
That's
He was
even
perfect.
worse.
Huh?
That's even worse if
No,
you say this
that's
thing.
what I'm
That's
saying. He
even
was
worse.
his positioning was poor, and
That's
he
even
took
worse.
too long on the ball. But he did not see him. Why would he try and not make him there? I mean, yes, he's the most composed defender and the best defender in the Premier League. But no, but that's fine. But there. I mean, everybody had a fantastic performance except Odegaard. But there are a number of players I want to mention. I'll start from the back. Urian Timber, over the course of 2 games, and even when Madrid tried to double up on him, so the first leg it was Vinicius and Bellingham. this second leg, it was Vinicius and Mbappe trying to come from his side. Man was solid throughout. And this is someone who tore his ACL, if you
I think
remember.
for Timber, we need to. I think people don't give him the respect that he deserves, man. For Timber,
Absolutely.
I personally think I don't really see any right backs out there that like that overall. Like when I say like
Better than yep.
fully rounded footballer,
Yep.
you know, and as a right back, so you can defend, you can also go
one-on-one cross, you can attack.
We go again.
Wait, now let me finish. I need to say something. I need to finish something. I think obviously, like for Timber, right, he still doesn't have that final finesse in the attack, you know, but he's pretty good up there. He's pretty good in the midfield. He's pretty good. I've never seen any winger that's like outclassed him.
Brother,
like,
you're not going anywhere.
I've seen a lot of outclass wingers play against him, and none of them ever like have a good game, man. Like none.
Hold on. So Olufemi Adenaike, you're telling me Timber is the best right back in the world right now?
Wait. Let me clarify what I'm saying. I think people just underestimate him. People, like, if they're talking about best right backs out there, they don't even mention Timber, you know. And I think people need to start realizing that this guy he's really good. Like, and when I say really good, is that there's no left winger that's played against him that's like succeeded. None. If you feel that there's one, just say one. There's none.
You said it's the most rounded right back in the world out there, right?
So I clarified at the end. That like he still lacks that like final finesse in the attack. So like when I say final finesse, like, you know, when Trent gets to that final distance, the way they whip the ball, you know, but I'm not saying he's not a terrible attacking right back, you know, but he's not a world-class attacking right back. That's what I'm trying to say, you know. But defensively,
what do you mean he's not world-class?
Attacking right back, attacking.
No, but I mean, he's not a right wing back though, right?
Originally, he's a center back, but
there's only one person I'll put ahead of him,
which is who?
And it's even marginal. It's Hakimi.
Yeah,
that's the only person I'll put ahead of him.
That's the only person. Like, so. Well, my main point I was trying to get to is that, like, I don't think people like when they're talking about who's like a top right back. Man, when people were doing like combined 11, they were putting what's his name? What's Valverde ahead of Timber? I was like, what? That's some crazy disrespect for Timber, man, that plays as a right back. You know, because people don't really like watch him and realize like how good he is. You know, again, I asked, like, has there been any left winger that's played against him that's beaten him? None. I can't remember any. You know, he's played against like
good.
Wait now. Wait.
Let me just make this comment. God, what have you done? God, what have you done? God, what have you done? Why? Why?
What I'm saying this is let me ask you this. Can you name one left winger that has like played against Timber and been like, wow, I was dominant? None.
Yeah.
Olufemi, please, I want to take Burna down memory lane. Burna, can you remember in 2016 what you told me? And
that's a long time.
OG, yes. You told me and OG about Elneny versus Matic. You said Elneny is the best DM in EPL. At
that time, it was
like I'm like, in what world? In what world would Elneny be better than Matic?
What do you mean by that?
Matic of Chelsea, not Matic of United. Even United itself, they're not close. So I'm suffering. I keep suffering these things from.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Like, if you're going to rank Timber as like a right back, where would you put him? Would you rate him as like highly or not? Just be honest.
So here's the thing. I'm not saying it's not good, but let us relax. Like, let us relax, because so Olu, you know, I always say this thing about you. You always take things to the
when
extreme.
I'm saying it,
like,
I said Saka, was I wrong? I wasn't wrong. When I said Saka, I wasn't wrong.
You talk about
I was not.
You talk about things. Like, you always talk about things in absolute.
Like, what I state, I'm not wrong. Like, long term, we'll see that I'm not. Okay. Like Saliba, Like he has, like in the last 3 years, he's probably like top 3 center backs in the world in the last 3 years. Saka, same thing. See, let me say something. Saka, everybody always disrespects him, but when the game comes, we always see who's the best in those games. We always see he stands out more than even the people that they are calling like when they are putting teams together, when they say Rodrigo, they're like, oh, who's Saka? You know, like, nah. Bro,
Seun is one of those
like,
people.
Rodrigo was like, who was the best winger in that game? Please, Seun, can you tell me who the best winger in both legs was? Please tell me.
So because of 2 games,
do you understand that this guy was 4 months
Rodrigo
out? 4 months out, injury.
Hold on. So because of 2 games, Saka is better than Rodrigo.
No, because of 2 games. No.
Two games. Are you serious?
Not even 2 games. It's not 2 games.
Don't let us read.
Wait, Sean, let's address this.
Let's go back.
We need to address this.
I'm not addressing that. I'm not. Because we will not.
It's not 2 games, though. It's not 2 games.
This is the.
Are you gonna? You ask me a question, Abi.
Guys, 1 second.
I will not.
This is the brain rot that because they asked Rooney the same question and he said Rodrigo. So this, I think, is a defect.
Steady disrespect.
It's a Manchester United brain defect, which is okay.
I'm telling you, like when they call certain players, people steadily. I just watch. I just keep quiet and I just wait for the games to go on, and then you see who's the better player on the pitch. Like I know, I'm not saying Rodrigo is a bad player, but man, as a right winger, please, like.
You asked me a question, right?
Yeah.
You asked me a question.
Yeah.
Can I answer? You said who was the best player?
Who was the best winger on that pitch? Arsenal versus Real Madrid. Both legs.
Okay. And I'm asking you guys, and I'm saying this is a question I'm asking you guys. You are using 2 games on the basis of 2 games to say Saka is better than Rodrigo.
No,
yes,
that's not what I'm
right?
using. But I just wanted to use that to point certain things out. You know, because we can see.
Okay, in what world?
Do you want me to bring things to you?
Because I didn't want to answer this question. In what world? Convince me, right? In what world? In what circumstance will you say Saka is better than Rodrigo?
Every sense, man. Say right winger like Saka destroys Rodrigo. If Saka goes to Real Madrid, he starts ahead of Rodrigo. Hands down, man. Hands down.
Okay.
Like,
no problem.
Do you see that game against Alaba? Alaba was dying the whole game.
Alaba that is on crutches.
See, wait. You said Alaba that is on crutches. Do you know Rodrigo played against a 17-year-old kid?
Please now.
Rodrigo played against a 17-year-old kid.
Exactly.
I can't pass him one time. He didn't.
Okay, so are you don't talking about Timber?
See, my main point is that, like, I feel like when it comes to Arsenal players, they get disrespected easily. Like, nobody even like.
Do you know why?
Why?
Do you know why? Let me tell you why they get disrespected. Because you guys, you get ahead of yourselves.
You don't like you.
Let me explain now. Can you allow me explain myself before you start cutting me off? Because you guys don't relax. You guys get ahead of yourselves, right? Timber, I'm hearing is the best, whatever in the world. Which is your opinion is fine. It's your player.
So
it's not the first player.
You're going to read Timber. How would you read him?
Let me talk now. Let me talk. It's not the first time I'm hearing this from Arsenal fans, right? It's just a matter of time. The same thing you guys spoke about Gunde, Genduze, whatever his name is, Eleni.
Why not talk about the main ones we talked about now? Saka, Saliba, you know the players.
A lot of them. It's just a matter of time.
The main ones that we talk about, not those side ones. The main ones.
The same way you guys stopped us about Ramsdale. You know, it's not new. But don't let us derail. I'm not here to talk about your players, right? I'm not here to rate your players. I'm not here to give them out of 10. I'm not here to rate them. Let's talk about how you guys feel about the game.
I think the player analysis is part of the game, though.
Hold on. Don't worry about how Rooney or Oluwaseun rates your players or how people disrespect your players. Express yourself without
that's part of it. I think that's part of it because I think Arsenal was very disrespected ahead of this Madrid time, man. You know, like people just saying, "Oh, we're going to get smart," blah 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 blah. See, I'm not saying that Arsenal is like the best team, blah blah blah. You know, but I'm saying that, like, man, like
I think our eyes are not blind, man. You know, like I think a lot of people watch and it's just based off hate that people are just like, nah. You know, but if you're actually talking like factually, like man, we smacked PSV 7-1. Like, how many teams go to PSV? Like, don't forget, like PSV literally beat Juventus, man, in their home. Juventus that is supposed to be a European powerhouse. We went to their house, smacked them 7-1. You know, still everybody was like, nah, Madrid, you know, da. I was like, okay, whatever. See, don't get twisted. I never like thought that Arsenal was going to beat Madrid 3-0. But I knew in the Emirates to win them, you know, because I always knew that when teams set up in those ways, that's the perfect game for Arsenal in comparison to like when teams sit back and just want to counter Arsenal. Like, I've watched Arsenal too much to understand like the games we thrive and the games we fall, you know. The other thing is just when I'm seeing all these like combined 11, I'm just like, okay, whatever, you know, it doesn't matter.
You know what's funny for this episode, right? For this episode, I was expecting you. I wanted to ask you about how was the atmosphere at the Emirates? Did you enjoy yourself? But yeah, you are arguing about what opinion of other people are. Like, is it the security? I don't understand.
It's just,
you just
see,
beat.
when people talk shit on you, you have to respond accordingly. You know, people talk about Arsenal like, oh, we're like those little niggas, you know, or little guys. They don't realize that like, we're grown niggas now. We're grown.
No, you guys are little.
They do that thing that we should be afraid. We are the danger. Like, we are danger.
Hold on. This is your third semi-final in your whole history.
Let's
You've only got to
at least we are in the semi-final. Let's enjoy the moment.
So you're little niggas. That's the thing. You're not enjoying the moment.
But that's my point. You guys look at us like, oh, we're arguing now. Boys and all that stuff. Now we're grown, and that's why we're smacking Madrid, because we're grown, man. We're grown. 5-1, like that's a beat down, man. Literally is a beat down. 5-1. Like every other tie in the Champions League, we're close in these semifinals, apart from the Arsenal Madrid, man.
Yep.
And literally, people, when I saw the probabilities, all that, I was just looking at like, okay, whatever. You know, again, I'm not saying Arsenal, oh, definitely we need champions. No, but I think at some point you guys need to start putting some respect on like what is happening at Arsenal. I'm not saying, oh, we've won, No, you know, but like, I think if you're a good football watcher, at some point you need to start saying like, man, we got to give this guy credit for doing this, man. Put some respect. Like, come, you beat Madrid that has Madrid that are the what they call it. Madrid are the holding champions, and we smacked them 5-1. We smacked Man City 5-1 this season. I know people are going to downplay that. We smacked Sporting 5-1. We smacked PSV 5-1, 7-1. Without a striker. Like, all these are happening without a number 9. Like, at some point, I think people need to be like, man.
No. So the reason why they won't give us our flowers, which is okay, you can't wake somebody that refuses to wake up. You can't. Yeah. They will forever sleep. So it's okay. You know, all I ask the boys, just do your bit. Win your
chance. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that's the most fun thing. You just do your job and let the rest.
Yeah, one game at a time. We don't need validation from United fans.
People need to be like, man, don't forget, like, we're playing without even our main center back, Kivio. Like, he even played really well, man, over both legs.
Right. So remember, I was mentioning the standout performances. So Timber, who locked Vinicius, Mbappe, and Bellingham over the course of the 2 legs. Kivio came in for Gabriel. Oh my God.
And
what a performance.
The thing, and guess what? Guess what I saw? People rated Asensio, that Madrid 19-year-old center back, over him when they were doing combined. I was like, what absolute disrespect. He's a full international playing for Poland, right? This guy just barely entered anything in his life. You know, like, let's be real, man. And people literally... And I'm pretty sure if I ask you, Sean, like Asensio over Kivio, you're probably going to say Asensio. Why? Because he plays for Real Madrid.
He will.
Because he plays for Real Madrid. You know, and I think that's where, like, man, at some point, man, like as especially if we love football, like, we need to start speaking like factually, man. Like, you know, it's not because you're playing for Real Madrid that like you're automatically better. No, like, Vasquez is not better than any. Like Vasquez will not play for Arsenal. Let's be real. It's a fact. Vasquez, like he's not going to see space in Arsenal, man. You know.
Yeah. So it was
So,
Timber.
so Arsenal players are the best
That is
on
No,
not
their
we're
what
not
I
saying that
positions,
they're the
said.
right?
best, but
That is not what I said.
Okay.
But I said, man, you got to. I
Obina,
think people need to start like Timber. People rating Valverde as a right back over Timber. I think to me that is crazy, man. Like when I saw that, I was like, wow, this is absolute craziness. Again, I say this: how many right backs in the world are better than this guy, man? I cannot. I'm sure. Like you cannot put your 5 hands, and name them. You know, like as a fully rounded right back. And again, hopefully, no injuries happens in his career, man. If you want to have this conversation in another 1 or 2 years, Sheon, I'm very open to having this conversation again because I think he's really, really like he's grossly underrated as a footballer. You know, and when the time comes in 2 years, if you want to have this, I'm very open to having this conversation again. I'm 100% open.
okay. So I allowed you guys. Rant about Arsenal, and you've just wasted time. You've not expressed yourself. You've not satisfied the audience. I'm sure a lot of Arsenal fans were expecting you to come and talk about how good your team was and not care about what people talk about you people. But you're busy going about reading tweets, looking at what obvious fans will say about your team. You want fans to praise you, other fans to praise you. It's not going to happen.
No,
It's
no,
not
no.
going to happen.
I'm not saying
And
I
you know
want
what's
other
funny?
fans to
You know
praise
what?
me.
Wait. Relax. Obina, I want you to say the truth. And this is why these are things that kind of pisses me off. Obina, last week, what did I say? How did I start the show last week?
so why can't you say the same thing again this week? Because
I'm not saying it's the same thing.
there are
I've
two
only said what I want
different
to say.
games. There are two,
Wait, Obina, hold on, wait.
there are
Obina,
two
chill,
different
chill.
games.
What did I say last week, ending the episode last week? I said, I do not see any way back for Real Madrid. Like, I don't know amount of juju that Real Madrid is going to use to come back.
Yeah, you might have
Didn't I
said
say
that, but
it?
you didn't believe that. If you
Eh?
no
Are you joking?
no, so then say it again. Say
Like,
Arsenal was fantastic. It's
I'm not
okay.
saying it. I'm not saying it again. I already said what I want to say. But after the game, I congratulated Olu, and next he's telling me that, oh, you guys not trust. I'm like, guy, this that sounds like it's just reconfirming
No, it's
security.
not. It's
It's
not. It's
No,
not.
security.
it's years of
It
It
is
is
it's
responding
years of
back
because
to the
I
haters. It
personally
is
texted you.
responding back to the
No,
yeah.
haters.
don't.
You need to respond accordingly.
I'm talking
So,
to
like,
you.
when people disrespect you,
Hold on.
like, you need to respond
Hold on.
accordingly.
I'm talking to you.
Accordingly.
I'm talking to you. I know what I told you. I know
Yeah.
what I said. And I'm congratulating you. Why are you bringing what someone I don't know says to me that, oh, you guys said? I'm like, I was just looking at
No,
the text. I was
but we
like,
know you, though, Shion. We
this
know
is
how
this is
No, but
security.
we're not only
we
having this
know.
conversation with
No.
you now. It's the like it's
Is this
we're talking to
insecurity?
not just you but everyone, like people out there as well.
Is this
You know,
security? I just took it down to insecurity.
I
But
guess just to go back a little bit, because I missed the main parts. Like, obviously I was at the
you
Emirates last
guys
week,
have
and to be honest, man,
Yeah.
that was probably one of the craziest experiences I've ever experienced, man. Because first of all, when I got there, people were already saying, yeah, Madrid, da 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 da, they'll beat us and all that stuff. Okay, quite all right, fine, but when I knew that we're definitely gonna win that game is when I got to like on the train station. From the train station, you could already see like Arsenal fans, a lot of them. You know, I never really understood like that home advantage stuff, but until that day, last Tuesday, right, I really understood like what it meant to like have that home advantage because it is actually a lot. You know, so from the train station, and to me, Arsenal dominates London, man. Like I even thought like maybe Chelsea or nah, it's not even comparable. From the airport, you're already seeing like Arsenal everywhere. So yeah, from the train station,
everybody in what
like
sense?
like
In what
literally
sense?
almost everywhere is like Arsenal, man. Literally, like
In what sense now? Like
posters,
posters.
like fans, in terms of the numbers. Like I think Arsenal really.
I mean, you're playing the
No.
game
Forget the
now.
game.
It's your
Forget the
day. You're
game.
playing the
Forget the game.
game.
Like I think.
So wait, were you
Okay, let
expecting
me
Tottenham
ask you
fans to
this:
come
who
out
dominates
wearing the
London?
jersey? But you cannot come to that conclusion on a day
Okay,
Arsenal is
but
playing Real Madrid
forget
in
that game.
Champions League
Let's forget the
semi-final.
game.
Is it
Sean,
quarterfinal?
who dominates London?
I cannot tell. Do you have facts to that? You don't
Yeah,
have facts.
I
You
swear,
don't have any
even if
numbers
you
to
go
say
to
that
Google,
now.
Google will tell you that like Arsenal is the dominant team in London. So when I say dominant, like most fans, and all that stuff, like the numbers.
You cannot say most fans now.
Arsenal,
On a day
but
you are
this
playing Real Madrid in quarterfinal Champions League.
this is not maths now, like, or something. Like it is clear that like Arsenal is the biggest team in London. Like, or is there a bigger team?
Because you saw fans on a day Arsenal is playing Champions League
That's what I'm
against
saying.
Real
It's
Madrid.
not only that day of the Champions League. I think if you even ask people that live in London who dominates London, they will tell you that Arsenal dominates London. It's just like if you it's just like if you go to let's say Atlanta right now, and I don't know if there are not that many teams in Atlanta like that, but like you're just seeing like Atlanta everywhere from the airports, a specific team, people talking about it, blah 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 blah. Like literally, like I think this
on a day you are playing Real Madrid in Champions League quarterfinal.
Okay.
You want to talk about Chelsea or Tottenham or West Ham?
So you want to say West Ham dominates London? Come on now, come on, Sean.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. But that's besides the point. Please round up. We spent 40 minutes on talking about Arsenal.
In my opinion,
the other things to talk about.
Arsenal dominates London from what I saw. In my opinion, So the train packed with Arsenal fans. And the reason why I said this, I was staying in West London. That's why I wanted to add. And West London is literally where Chelsea was not even far from where I was staying. But that's a side topic. Then I get to the stadium. From the stadium, you could already tell that, like, yeah, this is some crazy things happening, man. Like, I was having conversation with different people. They're like, they've never seen the stadium this packed this early. And this is 2 hours prior. Like, people are everywhere. The Madrid bus comes, they pass. People are videoing and all that stuff. Till you enter the game, you could already see like people are singing like in their lungs. And just observing that, I saw like a major difference between UK sports and American sports. Like obviously American sports is crazy, but I don't think their fans are as crazy as like the UK fans, man. Because I've gone to a lot of American sporting events, and for sure, like I can definitely say that like in terms of fandom or fanhood, is not even comparable, man. Like it's not even close to it. We get to the stadium like 40 minutes or 30 minutes prior to the game, fully packed. The whole place is packed, like people singing chants, all that stuff. The whole stadium is bumping like the entire time, the whole 90 minutes. So I already knew that like based off that, we're going to like win. Like imagine like 60, 70,000 people cheering you on, man. It's very hard to see yourself losing. It can happen, but like it's harder. Like even take for example like Aston Villa. Like I think the reason they performed that way is because they were at home. Same thing as Dortmund. And so on and so forth. So it was like insane in the stadium. The Garay scores like 2 bangers, blah 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 blah. Long story short, it was probably like, man, like sporting wise, I think by far, man. I've never been to any sporting event that like, and I've been to a lot of like basketball, NBA, UFC, soccer games here, blah blah blah. By far, not even comparable, man. That's probably the best sporting event that I've ever been to. Long story short, to summarize.
And they give you a good birthday gift.
Yeah,
anyway, we spent almost an hour talking about Arsenal. Please, the other things happening in the world of football. Congrats to Arsenal for winning Champions League this season.
We haven't won.
I hope they can go and dust the space where they created for.
There are still 3 games to go, so we're staying humble.
Okay.
We stay. They've directing us. We stay humble.
This is my problem. I've never said anything bad. Now you are already attacking me. Like, I don't
I
understand.
don't have to,
I'm
I just said we
congratulating you
stay
people
humble
now.
now.
You see, I'm not. Okay. Congratulations to Arsenal for winning Champions
We
League, and I
haven't
hope they
won it
go and
now.
dust.
We are just in
I
semi-finals
hope they
now.
go and dust. I hope they go and dust up the space they've created since
But
2005
let me ask you this question,
for
Sheil.
putting.
What if
Hold on, let me
Arsenal
finish.
wins the
Let me
Champions
finish.
League?
Let them go and clean up the space they've created since 2006 for Champions League trophy.
Wait,
And good luck to
Sheil,
them.
I have one question for you. What if Arsenal does win the Champions League?
Man, congratulations to everyone involved now.
No,
What want me to
will
do?
you sleep
You
well
want me
at
to go and
night,
hang
Shell?
myself?
Will you sleep well at night?
That's not what you're gonna say.
Anyway,
That's not.
so other things happen in world of football. Tonali might be going to jail again because he's back in the betting scandal, and apparently is the what do you call that person that collects the money, that collects all the bets? What's it called again?
The
Obina.
chief better.
Yeah, he's the one that collects the bets for
Like
everybody.
Ajo.
So yeah, he's the one that is the Baba Jebu.
Bye-bye, Jepu.
He's the one that is yeah. So apparently he's going. Then Salah signs a new contract
And Van
that might be
Dijk.
up to 400k per week. Yeah, and Van Dijk. So Salah's salary is probably second to Haaland's, and it's funny because Liverpool used to claim that they don't have money, but looking at how the atmosphere is, looking at the world football, where the direction in which world football is going, they may not get someone that's remotely as good as Salah. So they decided to hold on to a 57-year-old man and pay him a huge wage, going against what they, quote unquote, have kept as principle. Which is funny because a lot of football teams are claiming that they don't have money. They use that as an excuse to not, show up the quality of their teams. But when they now splash that money and we start asking them questions, they start giving us excuses. But we thank God for life. Anyway, his brother Van Dijk, they've decided to tie him down, and I feel like they would whose phone is that? Whose phone is ringing? I feel like they would let Trent go, because maybe part of the things they are trying to do is, out of the three, keep two and let one go, which is okay. I've started hearing the boy that plays for Liverpool in that position, quote unquote, is as good as he is, which is very interesting.
Yeah, of course, they have to hype.
Obina,
Yeah.
do you have anything to add? I have a long list. Because today, I don't know, man. I decided to give you people a chance to talk about your team, but I won't be this nice again.
No.
What do you have?
No. I think the four teams in the semi-final, the Champions League right now, obviously that's the creme de la creme of club football, and we're at the semi-final stage. I think at this point, it's honestly any team can win it.
So, do you think Arsenal has a very good chance
Why not?
of winning it?
Absolutely.
Uh,
And I say this both from the viewpoint that obviously that's my team, so I have to support them. But even when you look at the remaining teams, the performances this season and the form that the team,
I was gonna add.
no, continue.
Oh, sorry.
And the form that the team has going into this game in the Champions League, right? You can't bet against us. Also, you have to look at our record against big teams, right? We don't lose to big teams. We don't, and our away form in the Champions League has even been better than our home form, which has not been bad as well. So, our defense doesn't concede many goals, and now that Saka is back, Merino seems to be thriving. I was mentioning, my stand-up players. Obviously, there's Miles Skelly. Obviously, there's Declan Rice. And then
We've moved beyond that,
no.
please.
I'm
Move
just
beyond that.
mentioning. And now I didn't get to this point. Merino, right? So we have a very good chance. But again, everybody has this point has been made by multiple people. We played PSG earlier in the season. We beat them. Yes, they were supposedly a different team at the time, but
Yeah, they're a different team.
No, of course, but you can only play who's in front of you. And if you look at the result list, the team Arsenal beat was PSG. So that's another data point. And it was Luis Enrique who was their coach at the time.
But also,
Okay.
don't forget that like PSG, they've won their league, so they can afford to like rest players.
And
Have players fully fresh.
we have pretty much locked. I mean,
Considered.
we're pretty much locked.
But there are other teams behind us, so like, so I
That's
don't think
fine,
we
but
should.
the point is that our priority now, and Sean's question was, can we win the league? And our priority right now is the Champions League, right? Because one, well, it'll be our first time winning it, and then two, if for some absolutely ridiculous reason we don't make it through the league, we make it through by winning it. So that has to be priority number one.
Number one,
And
yeah. I mean, yeah.
and given our performances in the Champions League, I don't see why we can't win it. Also, all four as it stands, all four teams can win it. I won't discount anybody. So
Yeah.
I just hope Shehu and other non-Arsenal fans are not thinking, oh, Arsenal is the underdog and they will lose. It's definitely not like
To
that.
be honest, me, I still consider Arsenal as the underdog.
I don't.
Because I wish we had a fully fit team. Then at that point, I would have been like, okay, let me the best person win. But
What do you mean by fully fit team, though? I mean, minus Partey that first leg. I think this team.
I mean, Merino is doing good, but like he's still not a striker. Let's be real. Fabio is doing good, but
I
he's
hope
still
you
not.
agree with me that the two chances that he created, I don't know that Havertz gives those balls. I hope you agree with that.
I think Havertz gives the pace. Like in terms of running, he has more legs than Merino, in my opinion.
But right now, I don't think we need as much like I don't think that's because Saka, for example, that goal. I mean, the one he assisted Saka. I don't think Havertz sees that pass. Yeah. I don't think he made. I think so. The point I'm trying to make is Merino is, to me, a more intelligent player than Kai, and I don't think that we should say, oh, we would rather have a more, physical and annoying player. Because actually, even those duels that we get from Kai, Merino gives us that. And some. Right? So, again, when we look at, I mean, yes, we've been rolling Kai, and obviously I like what Kai gives us sometimes.
Yeah.
But, man, I'm happy with Merino in the team right now.
Yeah,
And
I think the main thing is if it doesn't work, there's no other alternative. So it has to work. It has to.
But it is working though. I mean,
so far,
we scored 5 goals against Madrid. 3 he contributed to 3 out of the 5.
Yeah.
In fact, every goal that was not a set piece, he contributed in it. He either scored or assisted it, right? So So anyway, Sean, to answer your question, I think we can win it. And this is not me. This is not even me bantering. Like, I actually think we can win it.
I just want to say one fact. Out of the 4 teams that are in the finals, right?
Semi-finals.
3 of them were in the top 4 of the league.
Yeah.
And if you go to the Europa League, same thing. So Man U, Tottenham, and Athletic Bilbao. Only Lazio that got knocked out today. They dropped off. So I guess maybe the league doesn't lie in a way. In a way.
But
the four teams that are remaining, I think in terms of Inter has been to the final, won it.
All of the teams.
Barcelona has been in the final, won
only
it.
PSG and Arsenal.
So in terms of Champions League pedigree, rating would be Barcelona, Inter, PSG. PSG and Arsenal are slightly equal. So in terms of like using that, using that yardstick, Barcelona is more favorite to win than Inter.
But Barcelona's squad is very inexperienced compared to Inter.
Yes, I get the inexperience, but I'm talking about like pedigree. So PSG and Arsenal are the same in terms of favorites. But when it comes to like individual players, in terms of age-wise, inexperience, Barcelona is like the last on that list. But it's a good matchup. It'll be a good
No, I
matchup.
think it's going to be very, very interesting. All 4 games.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, also for teams can win it.
Yeah.
In terms of Europa League, I was really praying that. So two teams I wanted out. I know Bilbao, like Club Athletic were going to qualify. Now there's nothing I could have done. I couldn't have wished for anything for that one. So that one was like inevitable. But I wanted Lazio out, and I wanted Spurs out. Spurs was very close to being out, but they made it. Lazio. I thought they believed that they could beat Bodo. And Bodo is one of those very, very tough places to go to. Like, people don't win in their house. And the manner in which Lazio lost that first leg, they tried and they went to penalties, and obviously they lost on penalties. So that's gonna be another interesting one. And the Williams sons are gonna face Manchester United.
That's going to be a
It's gonna
very
be
interesting, because I feel like those guys, they would want to go, because the final is in their home now, so for them, they have that extra motivation of like, man, we need to bring this final back home,
So right now, they're favourites to beat United. But United is just riding on a wave of unbeaten in the Europa League. So we'll see if that works out. Because we're so close to losing out today.
That would have been very embarrassing.
Because
very
no, it was embarrassing. Even us winning, I'm not celebrating because that game was an embarrassment, because we were winning comfortably at 2-0 in the first half. And hold on, let me finish my thoughts. I'll answer your question. We're winning comfortably at 2-0, and we decided to hand the game over to Lyon. Even when we're leading 2-0, we're leading in terms of, taking our chances and having quality around the box 18. But Lyon had the ball most of the time. And in the second half, we decided to cede both possession and common sense to Lyon. And obviously, if you have that kind of opportunity, you take it. Under 7 minutes, Lyon equalized. I mean, I had a crazy game into the extra time. So it was yellow card. It was second yellow card, and I personally don't think. I personally don't think that is a second yellow card. I personally don't think that's a second yellow card.
Yeah.
But again, sometimes you get luck like that, because we've seen a situation where refs don't give that as second yellow card.
Yeah.
But for the beginning, like I think for like the 10th minute, I knew somebody was going to get a red card. With the way the game was, it was either going to be a United player or a Lyon player. But between 10 minutes and 60 minutes, Lyon players did not play. Like every time United had the ball, they kept fouling us. So I guess, this is what it is. It was an embarrassing game, but a win is a win. You beat what's in front of you. And we're not as good as we are in Europe in EPL. So I don't know if it's the way teams play us in Europa League.
Yeah.
Maybe it's different.
I want to add something. I feel like, don't get twisted. It would be nice to win like the European trophy and all that stuff. But personally speaking, I feel like for Man U, it's better like Man U doesn't go to the Champions League, man, next season.
Champions League?
Yeah, like I know for money, all that stuff, is good. But I just see like this continuing if you guys end up in the Champions League, man, next season. Like,
but you know what's funny? You know what's funny?
Yeah.
There's no miracle in football. Whether we go to Champions League or not, nothing is happening.
No. So I think if you guys don't go to Champions League, like I think there will be more time on the training ground to like really hound these guys' ideas. Your players will be more fit. Because you're playing less games. And so on and so forth. Compared to like, if you go to Champions League, like imagine you're playing Inter Milan and you're playing like this, or like Real Madrid, like play like this. Man, you're gonna be smart.
See, yes, I'd rather go to Champions League and make money, because
and then be
whether
smart.
we go or not. See, whether we go or not, nothing is changing. So I'd rather go and make money than not go at all. But personally, I don't like anything that is not Champions League. So if you're not going to go to Champions League, that means you're going to Europa League or Conference League, which is even worse. Do you get? So
I don't know, man.
When I'm escaping Europe,
yeah,
you know we're not escaping Europe, because if we don't qualify for what's it called, Europa League, there's opportunity for us.
How you guys don't qualify for Europa League? There's no way.
No. What I'm saying is there's a possibility if we don't win Europa League,
Yeah.
there's an opportunity for us to still qualify for Europa League, even if we finish 15th.
How?
Because so apparently there's something with rating and something because there's top 5
Yeah.
and there's opportunity for there's something. I had to go and read about it again because I saw it. I was like, damn it, we're going to go to Europa League again.
Yeah.
So we're not escaping it.
Yeah.
No wood. No wood.
Yeah. Conference.
Conference League. Anyway,
Yeah.
when it's
Yeah. So if Chelsea wins Conference League, it moves that spot to the other teams behind. So
in the petty world, sorry, let's move on. In the petty world, they mistakenly played Europa League anthem at the Aston Villa PSG game. Now it happened though. Tell me why Karanga was not saying Rashford is used to Europa League.
my God.
Like what the hell? Oh, because he didn't have any emotions.
Nah.
He didn't react.
But he
That means he feel
performed
at
though.
all.
He performed. That game was
No, I'm saying he didn't. I'm saying he didn't react to the anthem. That means
like that was probably Rashford's best game since Ten Hag's first season, man. In my opinion, like
that's not his best game.
since Ten Hag's
That's
first
not.
season.
So if you don't watch Rashford,
So that game
what
has he
Rashford
played
did
well in
against
now?
PSG, he has been playing well for Villa, but the only difference is Villa players have not been taking his chances.
No.
He has been creating
This
a lot
game
of
he was
chances.
doing a lot.
Okay.
Pressing, assisting, blah blah blah. Like he actually like. Even me, I was like, wow, this guy is like,
He has been doing this, but they don't be taking his chances. I'm telling you guys. But it's okay. People are saying it's the best game he's played for 2 years. It's fine. I'm happy for him.
Would you take
I
him back?
like that for him. 100%.
What?
I've maintained. No, I've maintained this that I don't want Rashford to go. I've said it from the beginning, from day one. Do you people forget? Do you people have short memory, term memory? I've been saying it from day one that I don't want Rashford to leave
For his own
United.
career, he needs to leave Man U, man. For his own career.
I understand, but me personally do not want him to leave. I've been saying this from day one that Rashford should stay at United, and I've mentioned so many reasons why I want him to stay at United. But it's okay. Ancelotti is probably going to leave Real Madrid after their Copa del Rey final. That is a club because you're not doing what we want you to do, or not doing what you want to do, but it seems you have overstayed. Don't overstay your welcome. It seems things are not going the direction in which both of us wanted to go. So, might as well just part ways. And I'm making it quick.
Who's the front runner?
I don't know. I've not seen Club. I mean, because Club is free now. I mean, it's usually normal names.
That'd be a good team. What they call it, man? A good hire, man. Club for Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Ancelotti fits Brazil, man. In my opinion, like that's something he will encourage. Like, be yourself, just take advantage, and that's country football. Country football is not that.
Let me ask you guys. Let me guys for what you just said, and let me ask you guys this question: do you guys believe in this diatribe that people are saying about Ancelotti not being a good tactical coach?
I mean, I personally, like, to be honest, there are two managers where I think are not great tactical coaches. However, as managers, they are amazing, man. Alex Ferguson and what's his name? Ancelotti, in my opinion. Those are the two. Like, as managers, they're the best, I even forgot about Zidane.
maybe Zidane to an extent, yeah. You know, I guess.
So Olu,
Uh-huh.
hold on. How do you become a successful manager that wins trophies without having
Sometimes you
tactics?
can be a great man. Like that's why I say he's a great manager. You know, I'm not saying like he doesn't have any tactics at all. But when you talk about like the great tacticians that influence the game, like you cannot call Ancelotti, in my opinion. Like, and you can also not call like Alex Ferguson. They are wonderful
Okay,
managers. Like
hold
they are
on.
probably the best
Olu,
managers of all
Olu,
time, in my opinion.
Olu, wait. When I ask you a question,
Yeah.
right, about somebody, maybe it's just me.
Mm-hmm.
I do not like you comparing and rating the person against somebody else.
But you have to.
Do you get what
They
I'm
don't
saying?
live on an island,
No,
though.
you don't. It's not every time. Like, it's like saying who is the best.
So if you're saying who the
Let me
best is, you're
think.
comparing them in comparison to other people.
I'm not. No. See, there's a difference between what I'm asking. I'm not asking you how do you rate Ancelotti against the best tactical minds in the world of football. I'm saying people say he's not a good tactician.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying compare me to others. As a standalone manager, because how do you win that amount of? I mean, it's not. He hasn't won a lot of
Yeah, he's won a lot of
trophies.
Champions
But how do
Leagues.
you win? How do you win a lot of Champions Leagues and even one or two, leagues and not being good tactically? Because a lot of people say he's not good
Let me
tactically.
answer that. Like
So
having great
hold
players.
on, Olu, don't rate him against
I'm not
other
rating him.
managers.
You asked me. You said, "How do you
Give me
win all
as
those things?"
standalone.
Right? Having great players, like, absolutely contributes to that. And I'll say this.
Is he the first person to have great players?
Wait. I'll say this. In his first stint in Madrid, I think he was more tactical than his second stint. Like, I think in his second stint, he became more of like a people manager, you know, and that's my personal view. Like, he became more and allowed these players to like flourish in how they were. So if you take a look at those Champions League wins that he won now, a lot of those games were individual brilliance. A lot of those games, man. You know. So
Why? Okay, so are you saying? Are you saying
a lot of the games were individual brilliance.
Hold on. Are you saying his first stint, the players that he has in the second stint are better than the players in the first stint?
No. I'm not saying that, but I think they depended more on individual brilliance, especially in his second stint. In his first stint, you could see like there was tactics, all that stuff. Obviously, there were great players as well. You know, certain points they depended on individual brilliance, but they were more of like a team playing together. You get what I mean?
Okay. Obina, what's your take?
Moments.
Mm. Can we not use this? You think what? Mm. Mm. I kind of
So let me ask you
I
this,
don't agree because
Sheon, let me ask you this. You watch Madrid, right? What is their tactic?
yes. the tactics is lateral. What's it called? What's that thing I usually say? Lateral attack, lateral progression, lateral attack, where you get the ball and out to play the teams as fast as you can in their weak spots.
So just
That's where you have individual brilliance.
That they are better. Yeah.
Mm. Mm. Okay, Mr. Obina, to counter that point, more than 50% of goals and assists from Liverpool this season has come from Salah. But here's the thing, right? I think the thing people are looking at is this season, more of this season for Real Madrid. Let's remove this season. I just personally think part of their problems. I get it. If you remove this season, and I can tell you why it's like that for them this season. I don't think it's because of Mbappe.
But,
It's because of two
even
people. It's because of hold on. It's because of Modric and Kroos.
yeah.
That is why their weaknesses are really, really exposed. Forget about Mbappe. Mbappe is the last. Mbappe is far from what their problem is.
Yeah, like
Yes.
Kroos was really crucial for Ancelotti last season.
Kroos and Modric.
Yeah.
They even not being there. Two of them, those two players, is really, really exposing their weakness because the midfield they have. And I said this at the beginning of when they bought Bellingham and the way Bellingham was playing. I'm like, this is not what Real Madrid needs from a midfielder. Granted, scoring goals wins you game is the most important thing in this our business of football. But you need a midfielder that can dictate
The tempo.
the
But
pace
he's not
of the
that kind
game,
of player, though.
that can dictate tempo. That's what I'm saying. I agree.
I see him more as
And I'm
like
saying,
an
I
eight,
don't know if you remember what I said.
like a box-to-box guy.
Yes. I'm like, this is not what you need in your midfield because when Kroos and this guy Modric retires, your weakness is going to be exposed. But yeah, it's okay. Unfortunately for Ancelotti,
Oh my God, bro.
yeah, I did not agree. I did not agree to that. But no, they're saying Ceballos and Valverde.
That was in Arsenal. Like, please tell me that shit,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. And Obina, I don't even remember when I was saying that they need to go all out for Kimmich. Kimmich should have been close to what they had in Cruz. But it's okay. Unfortunately for Ancelotti, it's not unfortunate because he's done well for them.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's even happy to leave.
Manager ever, man. Like, hands down.
Yeah, he's just
Hands down.
I'm sure he should not have any regrets. He's served them well. He should go with his head high. It's fine. But fans are very fickle.
Yeah.
When you're winning, they have your praise. But when things go really bad, they just decide to.
Unfortunately,
It's okay.
eras have to come to an end now. Unfortunately.
Yeah. I agree. So it's okay. It's all good. Well, I've allowed this is an Arsenal episode. I've allowed them rant. But I was supposed to bring in our in-house Real Madrid fan, Tolu Afolabi, but he has a soccer game, football semi-final and final. He doesn't run away. Doesn't run away. It's going to be with us. We will try to work around his schedule for next week. He needs to come back, and Olu, you need to come back too, so that you guys can have a nice conversation.
A brotherly conversation.
It's a brotherly conversation. It's fine. I've allowed fans out there. I allowed Arsenal fans rant. and say all the nonsense they want to say.
Please,
I've
just
allowed them
say that
say
we're
all the
fantastic.
IP.
Please, just say that. Please.
I said it last week. If you want me to say what I said, if you want me to say what you want me to say, go and listen to what I said last
Man, you were
episode before this
fantastic
episode.
today. You
It's
did a great
recorded.
job. I'll give you that. You did a great job at the end. They were not fantastic, sorry, but like they did a great job to come back. You know, like for real. Like I had to. I give credit when credit is due. Like for them to like, man, that was like crucial time, man. 4-2 down and they won 5-4 in like 10 minutes. You know, so you have to give them props.
When we're like, is it 3-2 or 4-2? Open that text and he was laughing.
I mean, I was like, what the heck is going on here, man? But I was like, what am I watching here? What am I watching?
But for the first time, I didn't say this out. For the first time ever in a United game, I switched off after the first half of extra time. I just changed the channel because I was so pissed because I didn't believe what I was watching.
Yeah.
So then they came back. I'm like, really? Okay, then I went to go and watch it. By that time, and also as I turned it back, and also our slap bench heading the ball into the net. I was like, okay, that's good. Anyway, we thank God for life. God did not allow shame. You know, our enemies shame us. I say, sorrow might last for the night, but you know, John comes in the morning. You know, enemies they went to celebrate, but God poured water on their fire. Say it's not going to happen today. So we thank God. We thank God. It's up bad. Club Athletic.
Wait, I don't know.
It's okay. I know. I'm just messing with you. Those William brothers. Oh, God. To be brazy. It will be brazy. Bye-bye. No, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.